Hi there everybody, and welcome to my video about my Euronymphing / tightline nymphing rig. This video is in response to a very common question that I get in the comments. Oftentimes people are asking, what's your setup? What's your setup for Euronymphing, for tightline nymphing? So thought I would kind of address that with this video here, show you what rod I use, some of the different rigs that I use to do my tightline nymphing. Biggest thing with tightline nymphing is reach. Even in small streams, in mountain streams, you need to be able to reach over and not be too close to the fish that you're targeting or they'll get spooked. So a long rod is absolutely crucial for good tightline nymphing. And then your various rigs. Some people use a sighter. I don't. I find that I can just use the end of my fly line and save myself a little bit of money. So we'll be looking at my tightline / Euronymphing rig today. So as you can see here, this is my rod that I use for tightline nymphing. It's a 10-foot 3-weight, and it's just a cheapo brand. It's a Thor, works really well. I've got a 3-weight fly reel on that. If you look in the description for this video, you'll see that I have links to the website or to the eBay store where I usually purchase those. If you do use those links to purchase, I do get a small commission, which helps me continue to make these videos. So that would be much appreciated. It does seem to be a good rod. I never have any problems casting it, and it's very durable. What you see here is my usual tightline nymphing rig in terms of the flies that I use. My point fly is usually a never fail stone or some other kind of heavy weighted nymph, maybe a caddis, and it's going to have tungsten beads, lead wraps, and then you'll see that below that, about 12 to 14 inches on usually 5X tippet, there'll be a smaller tungsten bead dropper fly, usually dog's breakfast or blue wing olive nymph of some kind. The next rig you see here is my drop shot Euronymphing rig. This one I use if I am in an area where I know there's a lot of stuff on the bottom that my flies could likely get hooked on. This way the flies kind of hover above that, and the piece of split shot that's tied on the bottom is what drags. If you catch on that, it just comes off and you lose a piece of split shot, but you're not hung up. So you got the heavily weighted fly at the beginning, the dropper fly 12 to 14 inches below that, and then tied on about another 12 to 14 inches below that is your split shot. Next up is my 3-fly Euronymphing rig, or my, what I like to call, I got no idea what they're taking rig. So on this one I can put 3 different options for the fish to take. Point fly is still a heavily weighted never fail stone or something like that. Then a lightly weighted small fly, a dog's breakfast or pheasant tail or something like that. And then another lightly weighted dropper tied on another 12 to 14 inches below that. That just gives the fish a lot more options. You don't want to make it too long, otherwise you're going to be dragging bottom a lot. So a note about technique. You can see here that I cast my fly ahead of where I think the fish are. I have to give it time to sink. In this case, it didn't have to sink very far, and the water was moving really slow, so it sank fairly quickly, and this brookie took it almost immediately. But the key is that you have to chuck those flies, and you don't need a lot of fly line out for this. You just need a little bit, depending on your distance. Allow the flies to sink and be in the strike zone as they pass the fish. If you throw them right on top of the fish, they'll float right over top, and the fish won't see them. So key there is to make sure your timing is right and that you're casting ahead of your targeted fish. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I hope this answers people's questions about how my setup works for my tightline nymphing, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, share it with your friends. If you got questions, I'm happy to answer those in the comments section. Enjoy reading and answering them all. If you would like to, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Midlife Flysis. Hope to see you all out on the water this summer, and hope everyone is having a good spring so far. Tight lines, everybody. Okay, bud, you're gonna go back in. Just chill. That's a good sized whitefish too. Nice one. He had an encounter with something. Not sure what, but man, he had some marks on him.